Hello, it's Dr. Mercola, and I'd like to discuss a topic that can have enormous influence on your health, and that topic is detoxification. And detoxification is a term that we describe for the process of your body eliminating things that it was not designed to have, primarily heavy metals and toxic chemicals. And you know, these have been accumulating progressively more and more as technology advances, and it's just an artifact of living in modern day technologically advanced societies. So our body is designed to normally eliminate these things, but because of these large exposures that we have, it becomes progressively more difficult. So it's frequently useful to add an aid to assist your body in that process. And there's a number of different strategies that you can use, and they're somewhat controversial. When selecting the different options, I tend to select ones that are natural and food-based because they tend not to have as many side effects. And I avoid ones like drugs because even though they may work, typically the side effects can be worse than the symptoms that they're resolving. So one of my favorites is chlorella. Chlorella is an algae, and it's a green food-based supplement. And it's particularly interesting because it's composed of high amounts of proteins, and the proteins have some very special characteristics in that they tend to bind to metals, heavy metals, and help your body excrete and eliminate them. They also bind to different chemicals and pesticides and such. So these unique peptides have individual binding capacities for a specific metal or chemical, and they're very useful in helping your body to eliminate these from your body. Now, interestingly, it has sort of an intelligence to it because even though it binds these metals and pesticides, it tends to not bind minerals that your body needs. Minerals like calcium, magnesium, zinc, copper. These are not bound to chlorella, so it discriminates between the two and allows you to effectively eliminate the ones your body does not need. Now, about the only side effect that people experience from chlorella is an allergy because it is a green food-based supplement. So if you are allergic to it, of course you certainly don't want to, but you want, our recommendations for detoxification is to gradually build up to about 50 per day for a few weeks to a few months, and sometimes even longer. Now, there are some experts who believe that before you start this process that you may actually want to use some cilantro. Cilantro can be useful as a non-specific detoxifier for your body. So these are some strategies that are useful. And if you decide that chlorella is something you want to try, then I'd encourage you to consider finding a brand that meets very specific criteria, because like anything, the quality is an issue when it comes to selecting your choice of chlorella supplementation. And one of the primary ones is to make sure that you can absorb it, because chlorella is not easily digestible. It's a cellular organism, so you can't chew it like vegetables, but this is a similar process. We know that in order to get the most nutrition from vegetables, especially if you're eating them raw, you need to chew them. And that's important because it will help to break them down. Well, you can't chew chlorella, but what you can do is make sure that you're getting a brand that is broken down, or broken cell wall chlorella. In this way, the maximum nutrition from the supplement can be obtained, and makes all of its detoxification capabilities more available to you. So broken cell chlorella is a bit more of an expensive process, but you certainly want to find a brand that does that. You also want to make sure that the chlorella is not contaminated. Chlorella is grown in oceans frequently, and as we know, many of the oceans are contaminated with heavy metals and PCBs and other chemicals. So that's clearly going to be an important one. So we've been able to identify a brand that does meet these criteria, that has been actually evaluated by several independent, objective, third-party vendors to find that the chlorella is free from contamination. So if detoxification is a concern for you, then I would encourage you to consider using a green food-based supplement like chlorella.